welcome to Health Watch on Hills TV Abuja, where we talk about everything health and get you informed on health-related matters. I am Esther Oshosonya, and I'm your host on today's show. Today, we'll be discussing how we can build a cancer-free future. But before we continue, let's go take a look at this documentary. And when we return, you get to know who our guest is for the show for today. As nations globally mark this year's World Cancer Day, the global health body, World Health Organization (WHO), has released troubling statistics about the disease. According to WHO in a statement, said the number of new cancer cases globally will reach 35 million by 2050, 77% higher than the figure in year 2022. Noting that there were an estimated 20 million new cancer cases and 9.7 million deaths in 2022. To curb the menace of this disease, residents of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, highlight the measures to prevent cancer.
I think people living with cancer, I'll just have to tell them to stay strong, be positive, be hopeful, and prayerful. Although some people see cancer as a life-threatening disease, although it is, but at the same time, I'll just advise them to be prayerful and hopeful. And well, I think the best thing is just to pay attention to your health. Know what you eat at the right time, give your body what it needs, and exercise regularly. I think that's the most important thing. Right. The Ministry of Health has to do more awareness when it comes to cancer. There should be a kind of seminar, symposium, going around from houses to houses, educating people what cancer is all about. So I believe with that it will help to reduce cancer.
Building a cancer-free future involves a multifaceted approach that encompasses prevention, early detection, advanced treatments, supportive care, research, and global collaboration. Esther Oshosonya, Hills TV, Abuja. Hi, welcome back. With me in the studio is Dr. Chineyenne Ani. She's a medical doctor. Welcome on the show, Dr. Chineyenne Ani.
Thank you.
How do you feel being on the show today with me?
I feel very happy, excited, because any opportunity I have to talk about anything health related that helps the general public, count me in. So I'm happy to be here.
Wow. All right, I can see that the viewers can see that you're happy being on the show. And I know you're the best person as a medical doctor to enlighten us more and also get to inform us more on how we can build a cancer-free future in our country. All right, please, can you enlighten the viewers on what cancer is at first? Okay,
so in basic terms, cancer is any abnormal growth in the body that in most cases can be, very bad, leading to death, or something that can just, create a more difficult life.
Okay. So, tell the viewers if there are types of, I know there are types of cancers.
Definitely there are.
So, what are the types of cancers?
Okay, if you're going to use an umbrella term, there are the benign cancers and the malignant ones. So for instance, let's use the example of the malignant ones because that's what everybody's going to really. So there's where you talk about cervical cancer, which very common, the breast cancer, ovarian, endometrial. I'm just specifically talking about women, really.
So what about for the men?
For the men, there's testicular cancer.
Why do you feel somehow saying that?
No. Because I know they don't want to hear that.
They have to. Because what we're trying to talk about today, what we're talking about today is how we can build a cancer-free future for ourselves. Okay. So the men has to know that this cancer is available for us, so we have to prevent it.
Yeah.
So please tell the viewers, tell the men the cancer that they can likely get.
Okay, I was actually just looking for trouble there. So basically, for the for the men, the most common thing is actually lung cancer. That's a very, very common thing because I mean, most of men smoke. Aside smoking, yes, because it damages the lungs. Aside that, there are some people that work in different areas that are exposed to chemicals that can actually cause cancers. So yes, there's the lung cancer, there's the brain cancer, which everybody can have. There's the skin cancer. The person has is predisposed. Let's say someone that is lighter, on the lighter side. I wouldn't say albino, but you know, that's an example.
Okay.
So
What about children?
children, the same cancers that adults can have, children can also have.
I hope viewers you can hear that, because some people will say children, why would children have cancers?
Yeah.
You know, well, I'm happy that I have a doctor right here in the studio, and Dr. Chineyene is telling people that children can also have cancer. Okay, let's move on to preventions. How crucial is preventing cancer, and what specific lifestyle choices can individuals adopt for cancer prevention?
Okay, so as time is going on, it's becoming more common, certain types of cancer, because of the way the modernization, the Western life that we're having. So our body is now kind of making us more prone to having different kinds of cancer, even newer ones that we are discovering. So having a cancer-free future, I would say, is prevention, like you said, but it has to do with your lifestyle.
Like individual lifestyle,
Individual
choice, like this is
lifestyle.
how I want to live.
Yes, for things that are preventable. Then on a bigger picture, medical aspect of it, there's the screening that goes a long way. Yes, because there are a lot of cancers that it's better you catch it on time, and then you can be able to, you know, deal with it, cure it if it's curable, or just manage it if it's manageable.
That's for an individual going to diagnose the disease on time.
Exactly, on time.
And get treated for it.
Yeah, so usually medically there are different stages. You have to prevent so that you don't even get it in the first place. And then if it's not something that is preventable, or if it's past the stage of prevention, then you can also have screening to be able to detect it, diagnose on time, because diagnosing on time actually helps in treatment.
Okay.
Yeah. And not every cancer is curable.
Okay, not every cancer is curable. I like that point that you just have to point out, like not every cancer
is curable.
All right, can you highlight the role of diet, exercise, and avoiding certain behaviors in reducing cancer risk?
Okay, we know generally a healthy being is a healthy person, right? So in as much as we want you to have eat healthy, we also want you to, you know, work out healthy. And it's not just the physical aspect of it. Your mind controls your body. Like I said, your body always hears what your mind tells it. So if you're also stressed at work and you're going down mentally, it predisposes you to, can even eat the bad things really that could cause you harm. Right? And then it's because your body works together in tandem with your brain. Stress can also be a minor aspect that can lead to bad developments in the body. But generally, there's the healthy diet, there's the healthy living, and then there are some that cannot really be prevented because it's something that is genetic. So those ones, you just have to find a way to manage life, really. Yeah.
When we talk about exercise, which of the exercise can you point out? Because I know some, like skipping, you know, during back in the days then, I remember this our sweat thing that we do. So that is part of exercise.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Just not the view exercise, which kind of exercise.
Okay.
So people now might be thinking the other exercise in the other room, you get? So can you just highlight the exercise that they can exercise for them in prevention of cancer, for us to be able to build a cancer-free future?
Okay, so every exercise is exercise. If she mentioned in the other room, I guess that should be considered exercise. But really, the most things that, you know, every human being wants to go to is jogging, because it helps you burn fat. So exercise is you burning extra fat.
As far as you're taking out sweat.
Yes, taking out sweat. So the less fat you have in your body, the better. Not forgetting that there are some organs that actually need fat, you know, to envelop them and help them, you know, be protected. But the less fat you have and the more lean protein you have in your body, the better. So there's the jogging, which people can go for. Then there's swimming. There are different kinds of things, really. Anything that exerts your body. But people like me that don't really like, you know, jogging around, but still like to burn fat, I like skipping. So skipping is always a go-to for me, and it helps shed a lot of fats, really.
All right, viewers, you can listen. She has mentioned a few exercises that you can that we can do to exercise when it gets to prevention of cancer. All right, Dr. Chineyene, what vaccines are available for preventing certain types of cancers and how effective are they?
Okay, so let's use the most common one, which is cervical cancer, which is what we are pushing for. That's something that we know is very preventable.
The federal government is really keen on that because we have a lot of our female children, and including the male too, that they have been vaccinated too.
Exactly. So cervical cancer is a very popular one because it's something that is an active movement, if I should use the word movement, again. So there are screening methods for cervical cancer. And then those screening methods are the ones that can help you catch if there's any change and you catch it on time. And there's also treatments. Then there's vaccines, like you mentioned. So children between, let's say, 9, 15 years old, even up till the older ages, 45, can still get vaccinated. But the earlier, the better.
The vaccine is called HPV vaccine. Yes. I want you to mention it so that
vaccine.
The viewers will know that it's coming from a doctor.
Yes, it's HPV vaccine, yes.
So how safe?
It's very safe, really. It's very, very safe. It's just a simple injection and you're good to go. Yes. But it's not just a one-time thing. They're like intervals. And hey, you have at least more than one dose, but really just an injection. And covers a lifelong effect, possibility of a lifelong side effect.
For both genders, right?
Yes, but mostly for females.
But mostly for females.
Females are the ones that have the cervix that can actually have, cervical cancer.
All right.
But the males are getting so that they don't transfer to the female.
They don't transfer. Exactly. I like that explanation. So that you have to say, no, we could listen, but it's for both genders. But more females can get the vaccines than for the other gender, which is the male. It's for you not to what? Transfer. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Dr. Chineye. How can global efforts increase vaccination accessibility to prevent cancer?
Okay, let's say WHO, United Nations, all these people are, organizations.
The UNICEF.
All these ones are organizations that are focused on preventing these things. Like I said, nipping it in the bud. Okay, so if you're supposed to get screening, get vaccinated, it's not something that a small organization can do alone. Globally, it affects every life because women are everywhere, children are everywhere. Everyone in any part of the world can get cervical cancer. Exactly. So having these organizations that are more globally effective or have more global influence, that's the idea of, having global influence. So having them in such situations or having them be the ones that are moving, championing this screening, movement, screening, vaccination, and all of that, all those interventions, having them being the one championing those interventions goes a long way in preventing these kinds of cancer.
Wow. All right, thank you for that, Dr. Chineyene. Your name is just sweet in my mouth this morning. All right, okay, let's move ahead. Let's go to screening early detection. Why is early detection important in cancer treatment?
Okay, so cancer is like a progressive thing, really. It's not, let's say, something like malaria. You catch malaria, you have it, and you treat it and it's gone. Right?
Okay.
It's like a disease that you have and it keeps growing and it keeps causing harm, just like that. Right? So it starts in one place and it can spread to the entire body. It can affect different systems. It might start in a place that is not even that much damaging and then eventually spread to the rest of the body that can cause harm and can be fatal. When I say fatal, death. So detecting early helps you treat early. And if it's not something that is treatable, it helps you manage on time. So the person has a longer lifespan and has a healthier living.
Okay, now I get that. Okay, can you please tell us types of cancer screening recommended? When it comes
we mentioned the cervical cancer. There's also the breast cancer.
Okay.
Yes, there's the endometrial. These are common cancers that are very bad in women.
Okay.
Yes. Then there's colorectal vaccine and screening that you can do, which affects both males and females, but those ones are usually in the older age groups, really.
Okay. All right. How can individuals be more proactive in recognizing early signs and symptoms of cancer?
Okay, that's where the place of awareness comes into play. Exactly, because what some people consider normal is not always normal, right? So someone can have a symptom or, let's say, something that they feel in their body, they just wave it off, not knowing that it's actually something very serious.
Yes, especially when there's constant, just let me take
let me just
self-medications, like it will go.
And you see some people, they'll tell you, I've always had it. It's always been there since I was small. Not knowing that it's always been there, someone that is trying to kill you, right? So anything that is abnormal, please meet a doctor. Tell a doctor, let the doctor now say, it's fine, you can go home. So
Yeah, just find the time.
Exactly.
Find the time to go see
Just
a doctor.
go. Then routine screening, you might not even really have anything. Some things that, can just be caught incidentally during routine screening. So yeah, routine screening is very important as well.
Okay. Let's move ahead. What recent advancements in cancer treatment are particularly promising, and how do they impact patient outcomes?
Okay, sorry, I didn't get that question.
Okay, recent advancements in cancer treatment.
Okay, recent advancements aside the vaccinations and screenings, which are the foundation of everything, is now having the new treatments, like when you have different anti-cancer medications. Yes, those are the things. So the recent advancements has to do with if you have a first generation, or let's say a medicine that was working before, you now step it up. They said the medicine was able to stop the progression of the cancer to the leg, to the hands, and then now you have something that is able to stop it entirely from even being in your body. So those are different levels of progression.
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to go too deep so I don't confuse the general viewers. I'm just going to stop it there.
All right. Okay. Okay. Right now, let's talk about supportive care and survivorship. How does supportive care play a role in the overall cancer treatment journey, and what services are there typically provided?
Okay, so supportive care in simple terms just means, for instance, helping people live through a condition. That doesn't mean you're reversing, doesn't mean you're curing. So treatment or management is more like helping them. There's already a situation at hand. There's a cancer the person has, maybe is already progressing to the bad side of it. So you're helping the person live a normal life. So it's like support. Like you said, having family is part of it. But having, some people have different care homes. For instance, if somebody has a cancer that stops them from moving or walking around, they have people that have the similar thing, so they can form groups, encourage them, right? Aside from encouraging, they have avenues for actually helping them live their normal life. Similar to the same thing for people that have, let me just, of course, someone that has like HIV. It's not just taking the medication, there are support groups. So they feel, okay, this is what helps these people go ahead with life, have a normal living, just like everybody, every other person.
Okay. All right, let's talk about global collaboration in research, in cancer research. How do international collaborations contribute to cancer research, and what breakthroughs have been achieved through this effort?
Okay, so it has to do with the lower communities or the more local groups actually also collaborating, because in as much as, let's say, WHO, UN, United Nations has the idea or wants to do a particular thing or wants to move against a particular cause, if every other person lower doesn't contribute to that, it doesn't make sense.
They are not eager.
Exactly.
Like they really want
because
this.
You can't be up, and it has to be different societies, different communities
coming together.
Yeah, so those researches goes down into those different communities. So what the problem we usually have, let me even use Nigeria as an example. We have, God, we don't do research as much as we should be doing. Yes, because a lot of things go unnoticed.
That is why we're preaching for this building cancer-free.
We don't do a lot of research as much as we should do research, because if we did enough research, we know more and know more how to help people. I mean, if you know more, you do better.
Wow. I want to ask you this. Do Nigeria have a national record when it comes to cancer?
Yes, we do. We do have national records, but the thing is how accurate?
How accurate
because of the lack of research as much as we should. So how accurate is it?
Okay.
So you probably is going to give you a lower percentage than what is actually happening
in the country. Wow. All right. As we wrap up the show, I want you to give us your conclusion on how we could achieve this building cancer-free future. What are your last words or sentences concerning the topic of discussion? Okay,
so knowing the basic, rather the most common cancers, mentioned one, cervical cancer, breast cancer, endometrial, and the rest of them, lung cancer. So knowing the most common cancers, knowing how people usually get them, connecting them to their lifestyle. So it also includes screening. So you're knowing the common cancers, you're knowing how to get them easily, lifestyle that predisposes you to getting them. You know how to screen and detect it on time, and at the same time, you know how to treat. And if you can't treat, you know how to manage. And while you're managing, you have the support system to manage.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Chinenye Ani. Thank you for doing this with me today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
I know we'll have more of you as a medical doctor. And over to you, the viewers. You've listened to what Dr. Chinenye has said so far on the show today. By we achieving a free, cancer-free future, you have to prevent, you have to go to the hospital, diagnose, continue treatment so that you live healthy. And we've come to the end of the show for today. Till we meet again on another edition of Health Watch. I am Esther Oshosonya. Bye.
Thank you.